Okie dokie. I don't know why I look so weird today. Like, do you ever just feel like you look weird and you can't put your finger on why? That's how I feel today. It's weird. So today I'm going to be doing my TBR jar video. This is my last one of the year and I'm super, super excited. This last TBR though that I had from my last TBR jar video just wasn't the best. Like, it was kind of a chaotic month, I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to reading. And it's because I had 2 DNFs from my TBR list, which I rarely DNF books. Like, I do DNF them, but it's just not very often. And this month I had 2. And I'm like, what is going on? And it kind of made me veer off from my TBR just a little bit. So what I will say is I got to 4 of the books, but I didn't necessarily read all 4 of the books. So the books that I did not get to from my TBR was Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough. Didn't get to this one. I don't know why, but for some reason this just wasn't calling my name. I also didn't get to Heard It in a Love Song. I almost read this one instead of one of the ones that I DNF'd, but I did not pick this one for whatever reason. And then I also didn't get to Lost You either. So those were the 3 I didn't get to. I'm currently reading Shark Heart right now and I'm almost done with it, and so far I'm actually really liking this, so I'm really excited to finish it and kind of see how it like concludes, but right now I'm really liking that one. I also read Love and Other Words, which you guys saw that whole video for. And then I DNF'd Mirage. This book, I have a lot of thoughts on it. I'm going to talk about it more in a wrap-up video. And then I also did finish The Machine Stops, which was the audiobook that I picked, and it was just a really simple like sci-fi novella. And it just wasn't what I was wanting at the time. It was like my mind could not like retain the information that it was being given, and I just didn't know what was going on. It was just not the book for me at the time. I may try to go back and, you know, try listening to it again at a different time, but it just was not the month for it, and so I just DNF'd it and I listened to 2 different audiobooks instead. I actually listened to Night Bitch and Britney Spears' book. So I read 2 books that weren't even on my TBR this month. So it was just kind of a chaotic month. So hopefully this TBR is a little bit better. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I don't have a ton of Christmassy books on my shelves, so I do have one on my Kindle though, so I want to try to get that Christmassy book on this TBR, so hopefully I can do that. But other than that, this TBR is going to be pretty random, so I don't even really know what I feel like reading. I'm just going to kind of go with it. So the first pick is a book that Chelsea let me borrow. So my cousin is Chelsea and she lets me borrow a lot of books, and she has let me borrow so many books that I just haven't gotten to yet. And I put this in here because I really want to get to some of the books that she has let me borrow. So these are the 2 books that I am picking between, Circe and Heartless. She has read both of these and she gave them to me to read, and I don't know what I feel like reading, to be honest. I'm kind of in this weird phase right now where I don't really know what I feel like reading, which is really weird. What do I feel like more, you guys? I think I'm gonna go with Circe. I know I picked this for a TBR before in the past, but I think I want to do this one. I've wanted to read this book for a really long time, but I keep putting it off for whatever reason. It's like one of those books you're kind of intimidated by because it's so hyped that you're kind of afraid that like you're not gonna like it for whatever reason, but everyone loves it. So I'm just kind of like putting it off because I'm just a little intimidated by it. I'm just afraid I'm not gonna like it as much as the hype is like giving it. So Random color generator. Okay, so random color generator. So I have to open up a random color generator. Whatever color that it lands on, I have to pick a book that is that color. So the cover has to be that color. So let me open up a random color generator. Random spinner wheel. Ooh, there's a lot of colors on there. Okay, so let's go ahead and spin it. Really? So like a dark blackish gray color. That's like the best possible thing I could get because I have so many black books. That's literally perfect. I could not ask for a better spin. So Mineshaft is the color apparently. Alright, so basically black. Okay, I picked my book and I'm so excited for this one. I just bought this in Powell's in Portland like a couple months ago, and I've been wanting to read it ever since I picked it up, and I'm so excited. It is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. So this is a YA kind of like historical romance, but the hype on this book is so high, and I just have a feeling, like, you know when you just have a really good feeling that you're gonna love something? that is how I feel I'm going to be with this book. I really do think this has a lot of potential for me to give this 5 stars. Like, I really think it's going to be a good one, and I'm so excited to read it. And yeah, so Divine Rivals is my black book. Let's see. A book that is Emery's favorite color. I'll save that one for when Emery is doing a video with me, and then it'll like really excite her if that one gets pulled. So, a book with a great first sentence. This one I feel like could go both ways. Like, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to first sentences, so we'll see. So let me look around and see what I can find. I'm gonna have to read a few first sentences. Okay, so this was a really, really hard prompt. I feel like first sentences are so subjective, and I'm like, is that a good first sentence? Like, I can't tell what a good first sentence is. Like it's just a hard thing to judge, I guess. So the only one I found was 7 Days in June, which I've been wanting to read this book for a really long time, and I think it's like one of the best romances ever. Like, so many people just rave about this book so much. And so it's been making me really want to read this. And the first sentence is, I'll read it to you guys. In the year of our Lord, 2019, 32-year-old Eva Mercy nearly choked to death on a piece of gum. I feel like that's kind of a good first sentence. It's a little shocking. It keeps you guessing, like, who is this person and why are they choking on gum? Like, I think that's a good first sentence. I don't know, is it? Okay, so let's do pick number 4. Book on your yearly TBR list. So the reason I'm rolling my eyes is because I don't have very many on my yearly TBR list anymore because I've read most of them. So the ones that are left are ones that I've been putting off for whatever reason. You know, whether it be I'm not sure if I want to read them very much anymore, or if they're intimidating to me, or whatever reason. So let's see. Right, so this is my list, and the books I still haven't read are Piranesi, Spin the Dawn, Under the Bayou Moon, or The Firekeeper's Daughter. So I think the 2 that I would want to read the most would be The Firekeeper's Daughter or Piranesi. So The Firekeeper's Daughter is really long, and I think that's why I haven't read it yet, is because it just kind of intimidates me a little bit. I'm somebody that always puts off long books. And then we've got Piranesi. And this is also really, really hyped, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for a book like Piranesi. I heard it's very whimsical, very dreamy, kind of like one of those books that are a little bit vague and kind of hard to like grasp at times. And I just don't know if I'm in the mood for that right now, but let's see. I think I'm gonna pick this one. I think it's a long book, yes, but maybe I'll get in the mood to read this. Like, I've been wanting to read it. I'm just kind of intimidated by the size, which is really stupid. Like, I've read long books a million times. Why do I care so much? So hopefully I get in the mood for this one this month. Who knows? We'll see, but I'm gonna pick this one because it's kind of been on my radar lately, so I need to like follow that gut feeling. You know what I mean? Okay, next pick. I want that Christmas book, which is on my Kindle, and I also need an audiobook. A book that is cool toned. So a book that is like a cool toned color, which I'm pretty sure that Kindle book is a cool toned color. Let me see. It's Wreck the Halls, by the way, by Tessa Bailey. And you guys know I like Tessa Bailey usually. The last book I read by her wasn't the best, but it is a cool toned color. It is light blue and it has red on it, which is warm toned, but the like overall book is cool toned. So I'm gonna pick that one, Wreck the Halls, which is a Christmas romance, Tessa Bailey, and I'm gonna get it on my Kindle, so that is gonna be my pick for this one. Now I just need to get an audiobook, and then I will have all of my must-have books on my thing, because I always read an audiobook while I'm wrapping presents. It's just like a Christmas tradition for me, so I need to have an audiobook for this month. Contemporary romance. Another romance. This is like my 4th romance. So I don't like reading romance books on audio because I find it really cringy, especially if there's like steamy scenes. Like, I don't want to listen to a steamy scene on audio. Like, that's awkward to me, so I have to read this probably physically. So let me see what I got. Okay, so I don't have actually a lot of romances on my shelves. Like, I've read a majority of them, but I got this one recently. It's also a Tessa Bailey though. Do I want to read 2 Tessa Baileys in 1 month? I guess I will. Because this cover is really cute, and it kind of reminds me of It Happened One Summer, which was one of my favorite books, and this kind of has those vibes. and this is a summer book, which is kind of weird to read in winter, but it's fine. So it's Make Me by Tessa Bailey, and I think that this is your typical like blue collar man meets like the girly girl, and then they like, you know, get together or whatever. Oh, I think, okay, this line right here in the synopsis is why I picked up this book. If only she'd stop treating him like her personal hero, a role he craves more than oxygen, maybe he could accept it. I mean, so this is a Friends to Lovers, I think, which I love a good Friends to Lovers, and it just sounds fun. Like, it sounds like it's right up my alley in regards to like tropes and types of characters and all that kind of thing, and I love Friends to Lovers. Like, I actually prefer Friends to Lovers more than I like enemies to lovers or rivals to lovers usually, especially when it's like childhood friends to lovers, but there's just something so endearing about friends to lovers if it's done well though, because friends to lovers can actually be done horribly when it literally makes no sense. Like, I cannot stand when two characters are like crushing on each other but they like can't be together because they're just friends, and they like set up this weird rule that they like can't be together because they're just friends even though both of them are like crushing on each other. Like, I hate when friends to lovers is done that way. But when it's done well, it's one of my favorite tropes. So I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to be really cute. And I actually have a feeling I'm going to read this one. I'm not going to lie. I just have a good feeling about it. So I have a lot of really good books, but I need like a thriller. A short book. Okay, a short book. I'm not going to pick an audiobook for, well, I could, because I do like myself some audiobook novellas. I'm going to pick an audiobook because I have quite a few audiobook novellas, and I really like a good novella audiobook. Let's see. I think I'm going to pick Little Darlings by Melanie Golding. So this one I've had on my Audible for a while because A, it's short, but 2, it's free, which is really, really nice. I love getting free audiobooks, and my sister-in-law read this not too long ago and she said it was really good. So I'm going to read Little Darlings by Melanie Golding. That is going to be my little short novella, and I'm excited for that one. Maybe I'll read that one while I'm wrapping presents. That'll be like the perfect little thing to listen to because it won't take me forever to read. Okay, one more. An old book on my shelf. Well, I have some old ones on my audiobook shelf that's been sitting there for a really long time. One of them being Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. Gottlieb, is that how you pronounce it? Or Don't Call It a Cult. That's been on there for a really long time. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue has been on there for a really long time. I think I'm going to go with Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. I think it's Gottlieb. That one I just want to get off my Audible list because it's been on there for a long time. I've wanted to read it forever, but I always like pick the thriller audiobooks instead. I don't know why. So I'm going to go with that one, and I think that that'll be a really fun one to listen to while I'm like doing my chores this month. I always need like a really long audiobook to listen to while I'm doing like all my chores because I can't get my chores done unless I'm listening to something. So that's going to be kind of like my chore audiobook that I listen to. So that is it, you guys. So we have Make Me, which is my contemporary romance. We have The Firekeeper's Daughter, which is a book from my top 10 books to read in 2023. 7 Days in June, which was the book that had a good first sentence. Divine Rivals, which was the book with the black cover from the Color Generator. Circe, which is a book that my cousin Chelsea let me borrow. Then we have Wreck the Halls, which was a cool toned color. And then we have Little Darlings, which is the short book. And we have Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, which was my, old book on my TBR. So a book that's been on my TBR or my shelves for a really long time. So I think that's a pretty good TBR. And I think I'm actually going to read quite a bit of these because I have 2 books from Audible, which I usually read 1 to 2 books on Audible a month. So this gave me 2 books to read on Audible, which is really, really great. And I also got a lot of romances, and I always speed through romances really, really fast. So I kind of have a feeling I'm going to read a lot of books from my TBR this month. I just have a good feeling about it. So I'm excited. This is a good one, I can tell. So these are the physical books right here. Great little pile, plus 3 more. Just pretend there's 3 more stacked on top. And that is it, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry this video got up a little bit late. I was extremely busy this month and I just didn't have time to film it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.